too. I think I can hear a voice.
Yes. Yeah, Trisha's here too.
Yep, I'm here. Shalom.
Brother, everybody's here.
What was that?
Aaron and Trisha are on the phone.
Yes.
Yes, we're both here.
They're all here. Can't you hear them?
I can't hear Brother Robert. Is Brother Robert on?
No, I can hear you too, very loud and clear.
Okay.
I'll call everybody again. Well, you would do it. I'll do it this time. Okay, Bill.
Okay.
I was going to record, so.
I think Robert tried to call me at the same time that she was trying to call. And... There we go. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Robert. You hear everybody?
I think I can hear Aaron. Speak again, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm here.
I cannot. Oh, all right. Well, there we all are. No fault of mine. I will tell you all. I don't know. Well, greetings, Aaron, and of course, I guess Trish is there where we can all hear one another.
Yes, shalom.
Hello, Trish. What's the temperature out there? How y'all faring with it?
It's actually pretty comfortable today.
Yeah, it warmed up with the storms that came through.
Well, I warmed up here too. I tell you, a couple hours ago, it looked pretty ominous. I don't know what they were, quote, forecasting, end quote. I don't believe in forecasting. But I don't know what they were calling for. Let's put it that way. Well, thank you for joining us at this, at the last moment here. And we have things we want to all discuss together. Let me turn my phone light on here. So now, listen, if I accidentally cut myself off, y'all just call me back. Let's see here. I've got all this in front of me. Okay. I think some of these, let me pray. Father, thank you for these wonderful family members. It has been said that you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends, and I don't believe that at all. You chose us, and we've chosen them, and they've chosen us, and we are family. And hallelujah, thank you for that. Walk us through this and with your will and your way, and sharpen our minds that we can comprehend and work together on these issues that will make everything better for all of us. Hallelujah. Well, let's see. Some of these agenda things are going to overlap, I'm sure. Maybe we should start at the bottom under 4A. Let's go to 4A. You see that there, y'all? I printed this out. So, what do you guys show as number 4? Letter A.
I don't see any letters. All I see is the NetSpend card.
I see 1, A, B, C, and I see 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, 6, 7. That's what I got.
I see G and then 6, 7.
Well,
okay. Just yell it out, brother.
I see G also, and then 1, 2. I tell you what I did. this into my email and printed it, and it doesn't have the. Well, anyway, let's say 4A under 4 is how to save funds, and let me tell you why we would bring this up. The power bill has gone from nearly nothing to all kinds of money, and I think it was 120 something, right, to over nearly $500 for a month. Now we understand. We've started using more power. Now, that's what I want to talk about, see how we can figure that out. It was my understanding, or it was my impression here, that we wanted all of the items inside to be in a consistent climate-controlled area. But I was not informed properly on that. In other words, for instance, if we have a work day and then at night we cut the heating and air conditioning down to something minimal, then I would say we would be able to save a lot of power, in my opinion. Now, what have you guys thought about that, or what has been your MO on the temperature in the warehouse?
As far as the temperature in the warehouse goes, we
try not to run the heat too much.
Yeah, I think we keep it.
I had it set at 60.
Yeah, I think we keep it around 60 during the cold spell, which I will say, there was a short section of time where the breaker outside for the warehouse tripped, and it did get pretty cold, so I know it was having to work pretty good to keep it warm in here. I was also under the impression that we needed to keep it a fairly consistent temperature in the warehouse.
Well, Shalom and I talked, and of course the boxes at one time were in some horrendous conditions, but they were inside, and it wasn't climate controlled like it would be now. Let me ask you this too. Isn't there a wood stove in that warehouse also?
Yes, there is.
That's
we can.
over in that one corner, isn't it?
Yeah, it is in the corner by the air return, though. So it will.
We could do that.
If we have the wood stove going, it would be pulling warm air into the furnace, so it wouldn't have as much to heat up, if that makes sense.
But we would have to buy more wood, or.
So right now, it's my understanding that you guys have an all-night shift too. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. It's usually the girls that work overnight.
Well, let
Ethan
me
does
just
something.
start by saying, have you, based on the product that we're shipping out, have you just been trying to establish particular times of work, or did you find it necessary to work around the clock, or would you be able to do everything that you need to do as far as packing the boxes and getting the pallets ready in the course of one shift, for instance, like in the daytime when all of you could be. It would seem to me that it would be a way more effective presently if we could heat that warehouse as much as we could with the wood and supplement it with the power. Is that making sense? To where it would use more wood from the wood burner than the electric, because I know I'm not looking forward to seeing what this month is going to cost here at this apartment. I know that electricity has gone up tremendously.
Yeah.
And so
I will say the reason we've been doing it the way we have is the girls will get the email for the next day's order when it comes in.
At like 3 a.m. usually.
Yeah, it usually comes in around 3 a.m. And then they'll get to work, and that gives them enough time to get the parcels ready, and that gives me enough time to get to the post office. We started.
Oh, gotcha.
But you're only going to the post office twice a week. That's why we give you the whole M day.
Well, that was my.
You
Yeah.
got the whole M
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
The whole M day.
This situation only applies on.
Same schedule.
Yeah, this situation applies for Tuesdays and Fridays.
But if they're on a night schedule on Tuesdays and Fridays, it's easier for their bodies if they're on the same schedule, regardless of when it is. They get more sleep that way.
Okay,
we discussed this as a.
Wait.
Wait.
I got to catch up here a second. Okay. I've still not comprehended yet what you mean by Mondays. Are you going to the post office then just twice a week? Is that right?
Yes. Oh.
Is that
typically, unless there's.
Tuesdays and Fridays?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's normally Tuesdays and Fridays.
You broke up there a second. And so, if, for instance, that if we pulled it back to just a daytime thing where all of you could be, is there any reason in the way that the emails that all come in? I don't know. This is a Shalom and y'all thing. I'm just asking to help get me on the right page. What would happen if we only had one shift, so to speak, during the day? It would seem to me that if it could be done,
orders would go out
then
about a
it would
day later,
save
or half a day.
on heating or even air conditioning overnight. We certainly don't want it to be uncomfortable, and yet you all know how to. I'm just saying. So let me see if I can ask a specific question. Is there any reason you can think of if we went just to be like 8 to 5 or 9 to 4, 9 to 6 or whatever, that we couldn't get it done by pulling those emails early in the morning and then everybody getting in there and getting it done in the daytime, understanding that if there are massive amount of things to do, it could go on later on. But it seems to me like, just thinking about how we could save on power and keep you guys warm and get everything processed and save money, that we could put, and it would be certainly easier on your family life, I would think.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yes.
I will say if you guys are okay with, like, say for instance, the orders we get early Tuesday morning, if it's okay for them to go out
On Friday,
and then the Friday orders go out on Tuesday, that would relieve the need to work overnight.
Well, the only other thing, other than a delay, the only other reason is the Wi-Fi has a faster speed in the middle of the night between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. or something like that. And so when we can't get anything to load, sometimes we can't even print labels after 8 a.m. because it's too slow. And so that causes a big problem, and then could potentially cause scriptures to not go out for, another 4 days.
Okay, let's talk about that again.
Well, hang on a minute. If scriptures are held up for 4 days, we need to talk about that, because we can't have that held up. But I think what Brother Robert is saying, what Brother Robert's saying, I think the other team, Brother Gary and all that, because I've looked at everything, they don't want you working through the night. They've all expressed this, even the girls, because it's not healthy to do that. It's not healthy for the girls, the teens, because they need to grow, and it brings confusion, and it brings people getting upset and emotional. And Brother Gary's expressed and Max has expressed that it's just not healthy. They don't feel comfortable with it. So I think we need to come up with something, and I think the girls said, because I get everything from them and I have to write it down and we will have to discuss it, is that they give you the second lot of orders on TU Day quite early, and I think we expressed to Brother Aaron to take them to the post office in the afternoon. So even if you left at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and you got them at, say, 6 o'clock in the morning, you sometimes only got 20 or 30 orders to do on that day for that particular TU Day. So
Yeah, we
is
were.
that not enough hours? Because I know the girls do shipping as well. I mean, they ship out hundreds of orders as well on top of all their workload. So they know how long
could
things
totally be done.
take. So that's what was expressed. And I think Brother Robert came up with the idea also when about costings, is that going through the night costs so much more, as in power and things like that. And that's, I think, what we're trying to address, because also we saw the floodlights on in the daytime, because all the pictures go to all the team, and they see floodlights on outside in the daytime, not at night, because I know you needed them at night for that work with Greg and that, but they were on all day as well. So that could have saved power, and I think just thinking about what could save power, but I think also the climate of the books. I want to explain something that's actually in an article which you probably haven't, if you haven't read, is that a number of years ago, the Hallelujah Scriptures was in a worse situation than all these hurricanes, because we're praying each day for you guys. But I wouldn't be bothered about hurricanes and cyclones and who's coming by and cyclone chases and all that, because the Father will not have his word destroyed unless he wants it. That's it. And if you read an article about what happened a number of years ago, it was the biggest earthquake, 9.5 in Puerto Rico. Robert knows about this too. That basically destroyed the place. And the Holy Scriptures was in a field, in a barn. I don't know what you call barns there, Brother Robert. What do you call barns?
Barn,
Yeah.
So it was the worst barn. There was 3 barns, and the middle one was the Holy Scriptures. It had holes in it. It was the worst thing you could ever see. And on both sides of these were new buildings. And so when the 9.5 came through, it wasn't just happened there, but they had hurricanes and cyclones for a week. It was devastation. Everything was flattened, and it was terrifying. It was terrifying for the postal agents as well. And so after a week, they got out, and he drove to this place begging the Father, because everything was flattened. Everything around them was flattened. So when he got there, both buildings on both sides that were brand new were flattened to the ground. All around, these houses were completely flattened. And when he got there, there was a crowd there. They said to him, how is it that this building in the middle, that is the worst building, got holes in it, got this, got that, got everything, is still standing? And he was able to share with them. And that's the truth of it. So I wouldn't worry about that. I'd just be praying, giving it to the Father, and just, because I know how bad they went through that. And so we've never had climate changes with the materials if they stay in their boxes. Like we had them in a shed for a number of years with no ventilation. We've had them in all over the place. So I think that we could reassess that and maybe just get the wood fire on for heating.
That sounds awesome. I think that sounds amazing. I would love for my children to actually sleep at night and be out during the day. I do want to address. I do want to address.
I think we just need to organise. I think we just need to be organising. That's what we're going to talk about through this. Brother Robert will go through things, but we'll work out jobs and things like that, so everybody, so we all know what everybody is doing.
Go ahead, Trish. I want to hear what you were.
I wanted to address the lights on the outside. That had been something that I was doing, and I fell asleep, and because I had pulled another all-nighter and was sleeping when the sun came up. And usually I'm not sleeping when the sun comes up. I'm usually out there, and I have the lights off. I actually prefer for the lights to be off even at nighttime so that I can watch the moonlight and the stars. So I just wanted to say that when I found them on during the day, I added it to Clinton's morning checklist. Clinton gets up usually 5 a.m. every day and gets started on his things. And he's a very meticulous type of a guy. And so I asked him to start making sure that all of the outdoor lights be turned off. So that has not been an ongoing problem. That was a mistake that happened, and I addressed that. I just wanted to let you guys know.
Sure.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Okay, so Clinton's our light man, and was Clinton our photographer too there for a while, or was that Ethan?
That was Ethan.
Ethan, he's a very good photographer.
Now let me ask you while we're on that subject. Let's finish this hour. So we would agree that it would be wonderful. Trish would say an amen to that. It'd be wonderful just to have a 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. or whatever the day needed to look like, that you can all agree that you won't be stepping all over each other, but you can arrange that warehouse to where it would be effective and efficient. And so you are agreeing that you would rather not have a night shift. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Maybe you explain to us why you've got a night shift. Maybe you can explain that. And
Yes,
just explain
absolutely. So
hang on, Sister Trish, hang on. Can I just finish my question, please? There's a delay on the phone. If you could just cover, because I think it's on that list, just cover each person's job and just what happens day and night, and then Brother Robert and I can understand. There you go.
Okay, so the reason that we have the night shift is because per our contract that we signed with you guys, it said that we needed to treat everything labeled as urgent as something to be done immediately at any of the hours, day or night, working around the clock if need be during busy times, and resting when it's slower. And so we were attempting to fulfill that to the very best of our ability and strength. So that is the reason for that. And as far as roles, both of the...
Okay. Maybe
Go
you
ahead.
could just...
Let her finish, John. She was going to roles there. Go ahead, Trish.
Okay. So the boys obviously also help a lot with the concrete work and the siding work and stuff that Aaron's got going on, but I'm going to primarily address what is the fulfillment side of shipping things out. So Ethan is primarily on pallet work and storage organization. Him and Aaron, they really focus on that, and Ethan does the bulk of the labor for it, and he's got the muscles to prove it now. But Clinton is really good with technical things, and so he gets up early in the morning to help the girls with any issues they might have with printers, scan forms for the post office, and things like that. So, and then he's also another pair of eyes to double check orders and make sure that there are no errors. And he helps with various office organization things that he's really good at, and picks up, like I said, hey, I need you to add turning off the lights to your checklist. So things like that. Well, Olivia and Allison primarily organize the way that the shipments are handled. They handle the organization of the shipping supplies, making sure to keep an eye out for what we need. And Allison gets all the Cards of Hope orders put together neatly, because they were kind of a mess when we got them, and she's been working on that. And then they do obviously the orders for everything, the Vain Traditions and the James Block CDs and the special items and whatnot. So then Aaron and I both help them with that when needed, if they have a extra workload, or if someone's not feeling well or whatever. And then Olivia and I will often, especially with really big orders, Olivia and I are super fast, and we'll just work through the night and get like one day we got over 82 in one email group, and we were like, okay, let's go do this. And so I have been working on organizing the food storage and bulk food plans, along with the gardens that need to go up. I've never lived in this gardening zone before, so I had a lot to learn, I discovered. And so I've been trying to scramble and get that ready, because I know that planting time is going to be very soon here. And so yeah, basically. And then Aaron is our grand manager who knows how to do all of the things.
You're making me grin, Trish, and it's good to hear. I guess you don't have a shortage of water out there. I mean, when I say that, I mean
from the sky.
The atmosphere, correct?
Yeah.
Of course, that one we saw the other night. Let's see. When we were talking to the other night we were on with Danny and Greg, and Greg had the pipe that you guys had that was leaking. We thought that there was so much water just oozing up out of the ground just naturally everywhere, but it was mostly around there because of that pipe that was busted.
Yeah. That
right
was actually
right.
That was actually a good thing in disguise when we broke that pipe, because we found out when we put it back that one of the connections wasn't glued and it just fell out. So
well, yeah, there you go.
The father was showing us, is like, hey, there's a problem right here. Make sure you look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you didn't look at this? Well, it's broken now. Now you got to fix it. Oh, look, there it is. So.
Hallelujah. Well, good. All right. Well, and I think that Shalom had something else she was going to ask there, Shalom. You still got that in your head there?
No, sometimes it just goes out.
Hey, that's all right. It'll come back.
Can you, but basically, I just need to make this clear so I can go back to the whole team and relay it. Mostly you get on an average of how many orders do you get average a day, besides the whole weekend, because usually you don't send out on F night and the weekend, so you've got 4 days in one in that day. But generally, how much do you send out a day?
Well, it does vary greatly, but we have sent out 887 orders on average per month.
Okay, so the other thing too is I'm going to ask is you can work that out, how many that's a day or a week or whatever. My question, I just had a question there that I had written down somewhere. Someone gave me. Hang on. Can you tell us the process of how you do these orders? Because there is a lot of mistakes coming through. So the girls wanted us just to check, especially with the Spanish. I think it upsets us, and I'll tell you why it upsets us, because it's not our money. This is not no attack on you, I'm just saying. Because the girls asked me to address it a number of times, and we had to go and get another postal agent to end up sending them. But why is it so difficult with the Spanish? That it just, the PU Spanish is so different to the cover. The girls sent you a picture the last time. They want to know why, because it's not just you sending that out. It costs $30 to the project. And the other thing is that we get endless emails. It's not just one, oh, I got the wrong thing. You have, the people go, I'm really upset, I really wanted it, I needed it for this, I need it for that. So you have to sit there, for pampering people to get them through. They're so upset with the wonderful gift that they got, and they got the wrong one. So it's not just a case of it should be right, we'll just send another copy out. It's a lot of work for the girls to try and make it easy for people who get highly upset. So I had written an email to you and gave you the pictures and that of the girls had put together the Spanish and the normal English, and I just wanted to know the process of how you do the orders. So you mentioned there's a second person that's checking this, but there seems to be a downfall somewhere there, because if somebody's packing it and then somebody, because we suggested maybe somebody gets all the orders together on the trolley, come over to the table and, do the orders, and then a second person who will do the label will check that order, seal it down and put the label on. But somehow that Spanish keeps on getting picked up, and it's totally different than the English cover, and I suppose we just need to know how we're going to fix that.
Okay, so I saw that on our meeting minutes from the email, and I was confused because I know that there have been a couple of mistakes, but those had each been addressed, and so I pulled up before our meeting today all of our orders and found the mistakes that we have already discussed, and we had already taken, and we added additional steps. Like this last one was really confusing because it was impossible. Like it was literally impossible. It was in a completely different part of the warehouse, so they were moved so that there could be no mistakes happening, and it was really confusing. But that prompted me to look up the number of orders that we do. Since it was on the minutes, I knew that must mean that it has become an issue. Of course, our goal is always to have 0 mistakes of any kind. 100% is our goal, but I did see, that's how I knew the number for our average per month right now is 887 packages, not counting pallets, because that's something completely separate. And so our error rate currently is less than 0.25%. We have made less than one error per 400 plus orders. So
no, but it's not so much the error systems. It's not so much the error system. It's the continued issue with that particular addition. So it's all right if it's once or twice or 3 times or 4 times or 5, goes on. It just it is upsetting, because we thought, well, we try and explain it, and it's like the first and second time, okay, but it's not. It's way more than that has been addressed. But the girls have sent it off to other postal agents to fix up, because it's just closer for them to be able to send that off. But it's that continual one issue with that. So it's a continual issue with that one addition. So if it's a continual issue with that one, then we need to address it, because like I said, $30 may not be much, but somebody's worked really hard for that money, and to go out there, and they have to labour to donate that money. So we have to use their donation, which they want to go and use for printing and shipping. We have to use their donation to be able to fix the problem. And so so somehow we've got to have that second, because you said there's a second. I think I spoke to you about a month or a couple of months ago or 6 weeks ago about putting that second. Yeah, having the second eyes is really important with this project. So somehow if you could come up with a solution, because you did say a month ago that you had shifted that Spanish PU and the Spanish right away from...
Yes, we did.
From the PU, yeah. So maybe just think about how you could just fix that up. That would be really
Yes,
great.
it would be wonderful if we could go back to the original way of doing it when the Spanish first came out, where the Spanish orders were in a completely separate email than the English. That was really helpful.
They can't do that. They can't do that. Just because they've got so much on their plate. They don't just do emails of orders. They just do hundreds of emails a day. Seriously, it's really complex. It's all the postal agents and we don't want to get into that, but can you let us know how long it roughly takes you, say, do you go, when you get the sheet, the label sheet, do you go get all the stuff, put it on the trolley, bring it over, and then do the orders like that? Or are you walking backwards and forwards getting each order?
We have it set up within reach from the work table. So there's a shelf with all of the items and all of it labeled, and it's within reach, and they can turn and reach and take it from the shelf. Now with the Spanish, we have removed it from that shelf, and they have to walk all the way down past the kitchen, around the long table to the other side to get the Spanish. We did that on purpose so that we wouldn't have any more problems come up. So now
you would look at the list and see how. But you would look at the list and do all the Spanish, wouldn't you? You wouldn't go backwards or forwards for one copy. You would go and get them and put them on the trolley and have all the Spanish there and do those orders.
There's usually only 1 or 2 Spanish per order. The last mistake order that you sent us, it was very puzzling, because there was only 1 order with a PU at all, and it was PU names and Torah. And then there was only 1 Spanish, and it was a HS softcover Spanish. So it makes absolutely no sense that it would have been mixed up together. It's very puzzling. Now, I'm not saying that person, I don't know. The only thing that I can tell you is I am having them add another checklist where we're stopping and verifying the Spanish. This doesn't make sense to me, but it has happened 3 times, and each time we've added an extra step, and we are doing our very best to lower our 0.25% error rate to 0.
You broke up there a little, Trish, but I'll tell you this, Clinton's got the second eyes. Tell him that Brother Robert said we're going to start blaming him every time one of them Spanish meet.
Or blame the second eyes. Can you just I just want to cover the work with the orders. Can you just tell me how long it takes to do an order roughly? Just roughly. Just a rough idea. Doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 5, just roughly.
Like a whole email or like each individual package?
So, Yeah, well, so when you print out the label, you print out the girls. I don't do orders. The only time I do an orders is if it's directed at me and I know the person or somebody or group or something. So I don't do the orders. They've got the girls on the team that do all the orders. So
Yeah,
I'm just asking you. So
I
unless
honestly don't know.
Busy, really extreme busy, then I will do some orders. So from the time you've got them all on the shelf there, so you're grabbing a PU, a names, a Torah book. Can you tell me how long it takes roughly just to do that?
I can't actually, no, because we don't really watch the clock while we do it. We try to just focus on the work. We actually don't have a clock out here. I mean, there's a clock on the computer that's small, but no one really watches the time. We just try to really focus on the work. And we usually have some nice praise music going, and, you know, we try to pray over each order as well. So, I mean, we just try to make sure that the work is done correctly.
Okay, well, say you say you get an order for 30 or 40 copies. So you're working in your night shift. I don't know what just roughly how many hours would it take you to do that? So obviously you would start at A and you'll finish at B. Just on the orders, what would that be? And how many are doing those orders?
We haven't been watching the time like that. I can start doing that and then give you a report back. I can have them start logging time, like a time clock thing.
Okay, because you guys what hours would you do at night time? What time do you start on your night shift and finish?
It varies because we get started as soon as we get the emails, and that varies by several hours. So.
Did you get it by 6 o'clock in the morning? The girls, I know they said they get it.
Oh yeah, they usually. Sometimes we get it at 2 a.m. Sometimes we get it at 3 or 4, 5:30. It can be all over the place.
Because you have it before you wake up. Because I did say to Brother Aaron to wait, because we can't hold up orders. I mean, that's the number one. If we've got issues with your internet for the last 2 months, you should be on it every single day to the phone to these people to sort it out, because we can't hold up people's orders.
Yeah, we need to get it out of Rachel's name, because it's in Rachel's name. They won't tell us anything.
I know. So I'm going to sort this all out myself. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But I think one of the issues is we just need you to be like, if something's wrong, ring the people, just continue till it's fixed.
They won't tell us anything until it's out of her name, though.
I know.
So we can't ring her. We can't. We can't.
I know. But hey, I haven't finished, please. I haven't finished. So what I'm saying is, if it's an issue and you can't fix it, then go elsewhere and see what other solutions are. Just say, because Aaron said this name, just go and get it, get the costings and email us. That's all you do. So I went to ABC Internet Place. I found that they're the better people. Here's the cost each month. This is what we get. Can we change that? That's all you have to do. It's best just to think ahead of things and go, okay, we've got a situation here with this internet. We need the internet. If we don't have the internet, we can't do our work. So here's a solution. We need you to be able to do that, because we're working just as big hours as well with a big responsibility. So we've got to try and do other things for, that has to be done. So things like that would be amazing and help us, all of us.
Well, what I've heard is that we do know that the internet is quicker from 2 to whatever it is in the morning, but I feel like we need to make sure that during the day it's adequate. And what I was wondering too is, does everybody there have a smartphone? Because it may be that if Ethan and Olivia and Clinton and all of them are say looking at YouTube videos or self-help or whatever, that all of that eats up into the data plan and probably would slow everything down. So it might be that if that's going on, you'd want to do that in the overnight hours, and make sure that the only thing that's drawing on the Wi-Fi are the project things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I have thought about that, and I have instructed everybody to stay off the Wi-Fi as much as possible.
Sorry, Brother Aaron, I can't hear you.
I have thought about that, and I have
when I rang up,
Go ahead, Aaron. You're breaking up, Aaron, but try it again, buddy.
I have thought of that, and I have instructed everybody here to basically use the Wi-Fi as minimally as possible until the situation gets resolved. And there are like small things that we use, like there's a chat app that we use to talk to each other with that it shouldn't take up very much, but
I wouldn't think so.
No. So just things like that, and then we might like I might send like pictures from my phone or things like that. But I've been having everybody keep all of the extras to a minimum.
Well, before this, we were all sending pictures from our phones of the work.
Right, yeah.
And that was all going over Wi-Fi too.
When I spoke to the lady at sorry, Brother Robert, when I spoke to a lady, because I've got to get this shut down, this account, and reopen it. So I want to talk about that before I did that. So I told her I'll ring her in a couple of days. When I spoke to her, though, she was lovely. She looked into the system and she said there's quite a large amount of downloading. Pictures, viewing. I don't know nothing about this because I don't do this, but I'm just saying. She said she saw a lot of streaming, and I said, I don't think so. I don't think these people are like that. She said, well, I can see all the downloads and things. She said that is eating up your data, and then it becomes very slow. So
yeah,
they
told me the same.
Brother Robert mentioned.
Okay. They told me the same thing about the virtual calling. So I don't know why they would be telling us different things. But since then...
I spoke to a lady that was in charge because that person that I dealt with trying to change the account was no good. So I spoke to somebody in charge and she went thoroughly through the whole system with me. And I spent over an hour with her on the phone only 2 days ago, and she's given me her personal phone number and everything about this whole situation, because we've got to shut this thing down. But I've got to figure out in my head when we talk through this when we can do this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody could go into town with you and they could send out whatever. I don't know what, but she said there's a lot of streaming, so maybe, we could just stick to one phone or one something because we just really need it for the work.
Shalom, that's basically what we were just talking about. If anybody is looking at anything on a Wi-Fi thing during business hours, it would be taking away from the speed of the millibytes per second or whatever it is. But I mean, it's when she says downloading, it could be
streaming. So not downloading.
Well, streaming would include like a YouTube video or stuff like that, and that's what we're talking about. That Aaron has told them to not to do that during the daylight, the time in the day, because that cuts it down. So then the next thing is, as you say, Shalom, you're going to have to get the whole thing switched to where they'll have unlimited.
No, they don't have unlimited. She explained to me, Brother Robert, out in the rural areas, you get 100 gigabytes, and that's it. But you pay for that. But at night time, they allow you to have it free, whatever's free. But if you use up your 100 gigabyte on streaming or whatever this thing's called, YouTubing, whatever you're doing, if you use up your time in that, it will go slow. Doesn't matter what, it will go slow, because when you go down into the evening or you go over that 100 gigabyte, they will let you have it free, but you'll only get like 20% speed. It will be so slow that you will not be able to use it. So I would suggest, I don't know how we're going to get around this, because I think that we really need that internet for the work, and so that the labels can be printed out and all that. And the reason it's not being printed out, she said, or we're having issues, because it's not emails or printing labels that is eating up data. Those don't eat data. And I know that because I talked to our web guy who works full-time for us. He says, no, it's not that. It's streaming. Streaming is eating it all. And then what happens after that is, if you're streaming music, are you streaming video YouTubies, that will eat the data and you're not going to get any speed. It just goes down, 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 down until it's just about crawling space. And then when we ring them and jump up and down, it's nothing wrong with the system. It's just that we've eaten all the data up and there's nothing left for his word, to be sent out. That's what they said.
Right.
I can't get any more data, brother. That's all they give for there.
Well, I heard you guys, one was saying 100, one was saying 300, one was saying 400. I've heard several different.
It's only 100. It's only 100.
Yeah, it's only a 100 gigabyte plan.
Which is a lot. Yeah.
Say again, Aaron.
The video call was a streaming call.
Yeah, the video call counts as streaming.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that video call you did the other day would be, but it's not going to eat that much. That's
it was
several hours, yeah.
It stopped. We did run out that day.
We ran out that day, and it had just reset. That it did get used up with that video Zoom call party thing that we had.
Right, it would.
That wouldn't have taken 100 bucks.
Shalom, I will tell you that the Zoom call on the video and audio would suck it up. It would suck up a lot. Now, that's my experience with it, yes. So when we do those with you guys, we'll probably have to keep the video portion of it off. So even what we're doing right now on the Skype is eating it up, although it's audio.
No, it's not. It's audio, she said. It doesn't matter. Audio is not a problem, and neither is emails. It's just when you start downloading streaming, they take gigabytes.
The downloading was all of the warehouse work photos, and then the streaming was the video calls, because we had that other video call when we first got here and used up the data for that month, too. For that, when a day starts study.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like 2 months ago. Yeah. But anyway.
Right. But the video calls, the Zoom calls, it does eat up data. It does. Yes, it does. We can continue to do calls like this with you guys and keep being aware of that. But I think that the answer is what Aaron said, is just to make sure that no one has any device that's pulling off of the data that's needed for the project. Now, let me ask you this: when does it reset? Is it at the end of every month of the spin cycle? Have you figured out what that is yet?
Check.
Is that the way it is? Do you know?
It tells me. I just have to go to it. It says 17 days left until the allowance resets. 7 days, 5 hours, 16 minutes.
But at the same time, it gives you what's been used at this point then. And
Yeah.
so you can kind of keep account of it. If it's 100 a month, then if it tells you how many days till it's reset, it would probably tell you what the usage is at that time.
Yes, it does.
Would you think it would, or does it have that on the display?
Yes, I have it right in front of me.
So you can kind of keep an account. Oh, good. So then how many, you just said what it was, 7 days left on this cycle, is that what you said?
17, sorry.
Oh, 17 days, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see then. 17, that means on the 20th of the month is when it resets. And so you have how much left between now and 17 days, does it say?
We don't.
We have 0.
It's 0. So
yes.
Can you tell us how much was done yesterday? Just want to ask a question. Can you give us a reading of, so I can tell this lady, on the last, what's today? Just hang on, Rob. I've just got to, because I've got to give her a call and she's going to ask me. So, say from Shabbat to today, can you tell me each day the data that was used?
It doesn't tell me that much. It just
tells me.
It just tells me how much is left.
So, out of 100 gigabyte, because this technician says and our web guy says that's a heck of a lot of data. We don't use that much here, and I'm on this all day, so is hubby on this for our work. But tell us then 100 gigabytes.
Well, it's...
And nobody's this month's gone streaming or nothing. Is that right? No YouTubing, nothing. Because she says it is. So I have to go back and dispute with her and say, no, they've told me they don't do YouTubing and movies and things like this, because she said she sees a lot of movies. Does anybody go on Netflix? I don't know what this Netflix is.
We don't.
Okay. She just said it's YouTubing, downloading.
We don't have Netflix. We don't have Netflix, but I don't know if any of the men that came with Brother Greg have it on their phones. I don't know, but we don't have a Netflix subscription.
No. But does anybody do streaming daily on this? She said that
not daily.
So I've got to go back and dispute.
I listen to
nobody goes on YouTube.
I do listen to Brother Adam's Torah portion that he puts out every week, and he's also been doing a series on the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, and so yeah, I do listen to those, but not during any working hours.
The other question I suppose we could ask is just thinking outside the box. When Brother Aaron goes into town, is there a place there that gives free Wi-Fi that you can send the pictures at that time and things like that?
Not that I know of. I can check around.
Well, Adam, Aaron, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
I used to not have good Wi-Fi where I was in West Virginia.
Yeah.
At my buddy Jordan's house, but I was doing a program every week for this church house over in Bristol. And so I would go and park outside of the Panera Bread because they had free Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Often, also, McDonald's has free Wi-Fi.
Yes.
A lot of restaurants do that, and if you can set in their sometimes you can sit right in their dining room. I would go right in the dining room and I'd buy a drink or something. Sometimes I'd buy more than that, and then I'd sit in there and I would go on Vimeo, and I would have the pastor of the church house. I would film him. He was at Bristol, Tennessee, and I was up in West Virginia. And I would record his message, which it took, it's like making a silk purse out of a sow's ear. I don't want to be ugly, but sometimes they think it just make me want to draw up, and I wished it wouldn't record, but it did. But Panera Bread was a great place to do that. So maybe I'm sure there's some place you could find near where you go to the UPS store or whatever. Or the, that once you take all those pictures that you could, but now let me ask you this about the pictures. How do you like the new phone for that? Are we on the new phone now?
Yes, we are.
Well, okay then, that's good.
Yeah. I will say the camera quality is quite impressive. They might be a little bit large, so I might need to find a program on my phone or on this phone.
I sent it to you.
Too. Or for the phone, not the computer.
Yeah. I told you how to do it on your phone, because all the situation is that you need. I sent you a note. Go into this. I don't know nothing about phones. It's way over my head. But go into this. Click this. Click that. Click this. All you have to do is just get it down to medium, and then fire them off. When you're in town, something like that. When you're in town,
the way I did it that you liked so much was I took them one at a time on the Skype thing out there, right from the ark, and I took them, on the where you text on the Skype, just to the left. There's a camera. And what I did on my phone was I would do that camera on the text on the Skype and take a picture, look at it, and if I liked it, it would let me send it right then. And one at a time like that happened. It didn't bog down or anything, but at the same time, that uses the data from. So it would be great to figure out, how to do the medium pictures and then save them in your phone. And when you go to town to send them that way. But I'm glad that phone is working, and certainly it ought to be able to give you options that you can attend to that. I don't know anything about anything other than an iPhone. It's like my Aunt Cecil said, I went to her house one time. Her name was Cynthia Viola. She died when she's 94, but Aunt Cecil went to her house, and I said, Auntie, what you watching in there? She said, oh, I'm watching that Lorraine and Mitzi. She meant Laverne and Shirley. And I said, well, now, what do you think about this show? And she said, Lord God, honey, she said, I don't know anybody that ain't on Channel 8. Now, anyway, that's just a little, I probably don't, it's not funny anyway, but that was my Aunt Cecil.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes those channel knobs fall off and you can't do nothing about it.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So maybe I'm just thinking outside the box of taking things like that into town, and then maybe getting some USB and downloading some things that you do want to watch, in town. Put it on your USB stick and then bring it home. Maybe that's just different ways. I mean, watching Torah portions or something, on Shabbat, that's not an issue here. But we've got to somehow find out what we can do with this other issue. Maybe using it all day and then doing a night shift again as well is just eating up the data. I don't know. We just need to address that because we can't have parcels not going out. Because
Yeah, I agree.
if that's the case, if you've got a stock, we can't do that. It's not my decision. It's a decision of people who order. And, we're living in a world where people want things instant. And at the moment, we're only sending out twice. And I think that's why we suggested when you're going on TU Day, go in at 3:30 or whatever, and take them in then. So the team has got from the morning to the afternoon to get that lot, and then you just start piling, and obviously you'll pile other things in. Can you tell us how many pallets you've done so far for the shipments out?
We have the Canada pallets ready, and then I just got the list for the other one today.
Oh, well, we said the whole lot about a month ago, so I'm just wondering if you got all those.
There's not room.
All I got was a list. I didn't see an itemized list. I just saw the countries they were going to.
Yeah, different countries. I think the girls suggested that if you could, someone can sit down and do the size of a box, the weight of each one, make a list up so when we send this through, you can go with a calculator, roughly this is it. And then that would be a quick way of doing it. Because I thought you said that you were doing pallets each day, but...
no, we don't have room to do them. We've been waiting on the concrete.
Oh, yeah. No, I know that. Okay, so... only the Canada ones.
And we were also waiting on the trailer, which we have the trailer now, so... Yeah,
we have the trailer, so we can do it the long way.
As soon as we have the updated bill of lading for the Canada, it's already ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't give it to them till you tell me you had the trailer. Nobody told us you had the trailer. And I think that's one of our biggest issues that Robert will cover is that we need to be updated every day. So if you've got something, it's no use telling Greg or this person or that. You have to tell the main team because we're the ones that do all the shipments. We're the ones that organise everything, get this in. Sister Annette needs to know, our missions team sister. So, yeah, it's best. Everything has to be updated either daily or every couple of days. The girls said they need updates. And just so, if you get the trailer, the right thing to do is, hey, guys, I got the trailer. You might not have the pictures, but you can say, hey, I've got the trailer. But we're sitting here, we didn't even know you had the trailer. Nobody knew. I asked Greg, Sister Annette asked the girls, and everybody's asking everybody,
Greg sent you the money as a wire the day you got it.
Got a trailer because nobody's told us.
So Greg
it's always best to inform us instantly. Huh?
Wait, did Greg?
I'm just saying.
Did you say Greg told you that he didn't know we had the trailer?
Well, he's only just known because I asked him. When did I ask you? Because Brother Robert, what was it? We asked Greg, and he said no, he didn't know.
Oh, that doesn't make sense because he had to Western Union the money to Aaron that day for it. He knew.
No, but Western Union the money. Western Union the money and picking up the trailer, we've got to know. And I think that's one of the issues we've got is that everybody else seems to know, but not the team. And we're the ones that need that trailer. We're the ones that need to organise the pallets. We're the ones that have got to do the shipments. Sister Annette's been doing it for 12 years. She needs to know. So she asked me, I asked the girls asked her. It's just that it's too much. It's too stressful. So it's best that if Brother Aaron
picked up something. I remember seeing the picture. I remember seeing the picture of the trailer. Right, and I knew it was coming, but I thought it was beautiful. I didn't know what it was for, or when it was coming, or if it even was purchased. But then Aaron said to me yesterday, I guess it was when I Skyped yesterday, that it was there. And then I had to go to bed because I just get tired too quick. And so then I knew that you and Shalom were, because I could hear that ring, 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 ring.
And I do apologize. I thought for sure I sent something the day I brought it back. And I thought I had the pictures of the trailer arriving in that message.
No, we never got it. It's just best to not send anything to anybody, but send it to the main team. And then the main team, what they do, that's their job, is they will send it out to all different, because you've got, other people that work on the project. Then you send it to one people, and all the information and to the girls, and then they make sure that everybody gets it. And that's just the system. It's because it's just the best way it works.
What
if
do
you
you
need
mean by the
something,
main
it's
team?
best not to go to Danny and Greg to ask, I need money for this, this. It's got to come to the main team. Because at any time that, say, Danny or Gary or hubby or Robert says to the girls, hey, listen, I need information on ABC, and it's not in our system, they can't give it. So that's why our system's got a huge backup whole thing. And then even you guys, you might go, well, ABC, and we'll say, okay, we'll go and have a look, and we'll be able to give you that information. It just makes it so much easier that if you buy something or get something or do something, just send it through in an email, and it just, so we've got a backup of the, so that everybody knows where everybody is, instead of everybody asking the girls or me or anything like that, and we don't know, then it means that we've got to run around trying to figure out the situation, because we have no idea. So just if you could do that, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I'll make sure to start sending an email first before anything else.
Great, thank you.
Just helps.
And also, our email has backup, so that there's always a copy. It's got redundancy there with our internet provider guy and website dude.
Okay.
So, all right, let's see what we've talked about. Now, have we concluded that we're going to pull back to do daily, no overnight things, just pull everybody into the project and fulfillment during the day, right?
Yes, we can do that for sure.
Is that what we've determined?
Yes.
Okay, and that's good. And then when I have fuel and gas and fuel and heating wood, I wasn't sure that I remembered that there was a wood stove in there. But now you guys don't have a wood stove in the house part, do you?
Yes, we do.
They do.
That was our primary source of heating over the cold spell.
Oh, good. Because
I'm just gonna say right now,
any kind of forced air, anything is just not going to warm it up, is it?
No. I did kind of hack the system a little bit. But yeah, so.
Sorry, what was that, Aaron?
Oh yeah, we were primarily using the wood fireplace, especially during the cold parts. The furnace for the house doesn't really do anything anyway, so there's no use even turning it on. But I will say the fireplace in the living room.
Sorry, what's a furnace? Sorry, brother. I don't know what
the big electric heater for the house.
Oh yeah. You know what my mother used to say? She used to say, Robert, put on extra clothes. You're not having a heater.
Well, listen, I'll tell you.
But I'm just telling you how our parents were. And even hubby, when he goes everywhere, when we went to Germany, we had to do a stopover. He's the snow. He's still got shorts and a shirt on. He can't wear anything else. Shorts, a t-shirt. Doesn't matter how freezing it is. He has shorts and a shirt on. Everybody looks at him so strange. He says, I just can't wear pants. I can't wear all these things. But I wanted to go over there quickly. Sis Trish, we gave you the $2,000 to buy some thermal clothes for the children. I haven't got those receipts yet, and our bookkeeper's asking me about that. Did you get the shoes and all the thermal clothes? Because we made a list.
I haven't got all of it yet, no, because I can't get the right sizes where they're available. We've been having a lot of shipping and supply issues with Amazon, and then I'm having issues when I'm doing the shopping. I did get some of the things, which I forwarded you guys all the receipts for that, but I still have it, and I'm still shopping for it. The boys really do like they're fine on boots and whatnot, and they have their rain gear. We sent all of that forward, but I don't want to get anything that's not a natural fabric. Allison gets a lot of rashes she has a psoriasis, and it causes a lot of irritation with skin. So I would like for it to be all cotton. Basically, I'm still working on getting the rest of the gear, but I will forward those on as soon as we get it.
They need thermals. We've got I don't know what you call it, the polar fleece. That's what's very warm for them. Sometimes we just have to, as long as it's one material, sometimes we can't, beggars can't, as my mother used to say, beggars can't be pleasers.
Oh no, it's not about that. It's about it's about the health.
I'm just saying, I want to talk about Alison's psoriasis. If you just, I know, but then if we've got nothing and we're on the streets and we've got nothing, we have to think like that as well. But can I just ask a question? I'll email you about the psoriasis, because I can clear that up very quickly. That's not a problem. It's a deficiency, and I've dealt with it for many, many, many years, so I can tell you what to do with that. But I think couple of the men on the team brought up something, and I think we do have to think about this, because they're very serious about this. We have to come to a point with these funds and all that, which we're going to talk about soon, and I'll tell you why. Because tomorrow or the next day or next week, there'll be nothing. There'll be no bank accounts, no power, no nothing. So we have to think about this now, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or next week. So what we've got to think about is put things into place to feed you the best way we can possibly feed you. We just can't give any more money, because when you first started, Trish, you mentioned you only wanted 150 a week, and so I put it up extra than that. Oops. And well, I shouldn't have, because the team said to me, "Why did you do that?" Because then we're paying out for this food, and then we had that $6,000 worth of food that was there to be in times, and I'm not sure. I haven't got an update from Aaron about that yet. But we have to address this, because the costs have gone up 3 times the amount. Now, as we discuss this, we didn't think, and I suppose this could be partly my problem as well when I went to relate it to the team. And I'm just saying, I have to be honest here in my heart, because we didn't realise that it's going to be close to 3 times the amount of money of having so many people. I don't know. I think because when you and I spoke about this, is that you mentioned you only wanted 150 a week, but that could change when you started growing food, and then X amount was for the food each month. But that would be cut down, because you're about to grow or get bulk food,
Sister,
which hasn't happened.
I need to interject here really quickly. That conversation, when the context of when I said, "Man, I don't know, maybe you just misread it or something." The context of me saying that when you were asking for an amount is I said, I struggle right now. We're living in a tent beside a river, and so we only need $150 a week, LOL. And I said I would rather you all pray about it as a team and make us an offer, and if we can accept that offer, then we will. And you offered us initially $500 a week and then $350 a week, and we accepted both.
No, I didn't say 500.
Yeah, I have it in our Skype messages. Yeah. So that was where so I didn't say it would be $150 a week. I was saying that's what it cost me to live by the river in Missouri in that campground. And
yeah, but then you said that you'll grow some food, and then that could cut down to 75 or something. Yeah, we understand that.
I said if we could, yeah.
We understand that, sister, but we're at a situation where we just can't afford to keep going like this, because these are donations that have been given. We can't. That's why your new cards are coming too. We can't have you just using the cards for anything without. It's just not good for the project. It's not good for the bookkeeper. It's not good for anything like that. It's like you had a baby gate there for 116, but you could have just cut some wood and nailed it together and made a something for $5. That's how the team sees it. I'm just saying,
There's no
relaying
for
things
116.
to you where we need to. We can't, because you see an amount in the bank account, but that amount's basically all gone because we've got shipping bills we have to pay. We've got 4 containers that used to cost us $8,000 to ship. We now pay $20,000 each for those. It's an $80,000 bill we've got to find the money for. We've got a shipping bill, so we don't even have the funds to cover those. But because we're doing step by step by step and breaking it down with the printers and asking them to wait, they allow us to do that. So it looks like a lot of money, but it's taken, and that's why we don't want to have to explain to people what we've got. So all the team decided to get those cards, which are coming to you soon. But the thing is, we can't keep affording this. And I'm being serious about this. The whole team's been serious. Even the bookkeepers chimed in and said, you can't afford to do this. And I don't know. That's why I think we're coming to you with Brother Robert and talking about how we can get this somehow cut down.
So
the girls did a budget up for the food, and I think they sent that to Brother Robert, a scale of the food, the bulk food, the baked rice and things like that, and putting somebody, because we thought that Sis Victoria was going to do cooking full time to feed you guys big lots of food and soups.
yeah, she
like
is. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, because the girls live on rice 3 times a day. They love it.
Okay, I have a question. Are you saying that we have misappropriated funds in some way?
No.
Okay.
No. Did I say those words?
That's why I'm asking. Because we were also under the impression that we were supposed to buy tools and supplies for starting the homestead and also getting animals. I'm sorry?
The house sold. We've poured so much into there. Haven't you seen that the pouring of the funds are into that place already? And you've only been there a short period of time. The place hasn't sold. We can't do any more.
Oh, we were under the impression that we were under the impression that when we got that card that's what we were supposed to do. And in fact...
No, definitely not. No. That card was a card that is connected to the main project. That's the main project of Greg's one. But that's going...
We can check our
emails.
emails.
To Greg, so not to use that anymore. And I think Sis Danny's got one that will have your gift on it, your payment each month for your fulfillment fees, and then a separate card and the food on that one. And then on the separate card we'll have the petty cash, which we have to have the receipts. So once you get the receipts, the bookkeeper, she will let Sis Danny know, and she'll top it back up to $1,000 a month for the petty cash.
Awesome. Who's the bookkeeper?
I did ask Brother Aaron about the tools and that, and he wrote back and said he didn't need this and he didn't need that because he's got this and he's got that. And I said, oh, okay, but we can't do anything else until that place is sold.
No, I didn't say that.
Say.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
The buyer for that fell through too, so we've got that on the market again.
Okay.
So no, Trish, we're not suggesting there's been any misappropriation at all. We're just trying to get a hold of what's been done and see if we can make sure that we have budgetable, that what we do is budgeted to where all of us have recognition of what's going on, and so there'll be no surprises. These incidentals, we'll say, that have happened here over the last couple of months are, in my opinion, just part of the business of learning what's needed or what's not needed, and there, of course, a lot of, when you're setting something up like this, there's just going to be a lot of incidental things, and we know that, and so now we're just trying to figure out with what we've got, what you guys have, how we can be the best stewards of this and make sure everybody has what they need, and yet
I have a question.
And everybody's... Go right ahead, sweetie.
Sister Shalom said that Aaron told her that he didn't need tools, and I would like to ask Aaron about that myself.
Particular tools. Just a particular things that I asked, and he said he's got that. I think it was axe and things like that for the cutting, and you explained that. But at this stage, so had that. But we haven't got any list. We haven't got any list of what you need. But at this stage, we can't spend any more funds because we don't have the funds to spend. that's what I think that
Okay.
we're trying to address, so that we can look at what can be cut down.
We've already been doing without propane also. I mean, if we're supposed to start a garden, I've got to get the supplies. You know what I'm saying? That's why I thought we were told that we were supposed to get our seeds and get our garden tools and
We sent you seeds.
get
I sent you the seeds.
You told us to get more than that. And then the greenhouse.
You found some seeds there. No, you found seeds there.
Yeah.
So I said, use those, and I ordered some more for you. I ordered them, and I sent them to you.
Yes. Yeah, we got all of that. But I'm talking about a different conversation, because we were supposed to be getting like trees and more than just
get prices for trees. Yeah, I tried to get prices for trees, but we can't afford to pay that kind of price for trees.
Right. That's why I said they're very expensive. They are very expensive.
Yeah, they are. So what you might have to do is just source some more, ring up when Brother Aaron goes into town to a garden centre, just get some prices on 2 or 3 year old trees for now.
Okay, so that begs another question.
That money has to come from somewhere.
That begs another question of all of these things that Aaron needs to do when he goes to town with the packages. If he's not leaving until 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon in order to give a the day shift time to prepare the packages, by the time he's finished with it, and then also does whatever shopping that has to be done, or filling up the fuel or the propane tanks, or whatever errands that has to be done, as well as picking up packages and dealing with special packages that take longer, then he also is going to be going around and doing these other tasks, like you're looking for trees and things like that. I'm just wondering.
Well, no, I think it just takes a phone call, wouldn't it? I mean, I could Google something very quickly in your town and just get something and say, oh, okay, thank you. It's just a quick email. It doesn't have to be a long email. Just locally of the centres, you could even give a quick phone call, or you can do an email and say, hey, what's the price of the 2 year or 3 year trees? Thank you very much. What do you got in stock? Thank you. Come back to us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I've already done that. I've already been doing that online. That was the one that I forwarded you in that email when I sent a link that I said this was the closest local guy who has the best prices on what you told me to look at. And that I still have on the computer. I can forward it again if you need to, because I was already doing that. I thought you were talking about Aaron needs to go find a local farmer and offer to buy some of his trees.
No. I said when you do a quick email or quick search. I mean, if you want the girls to do it, I mean they're very quick. We're quick at searching things.
Oh no, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, that's what I forwarded to you. I just was waiting to hear back, but like you said, that those prices are high.
We waited 2 months for that email, so we finally got it. But that's okay. It doesn't matter when it comes in. But no, we won't be paying that price.
I sent that back in November,
so we have to.
When we first got here.
Yeah. So that's all right. So no, we can't afford those prices. We've got to. That's just what we can't afford. So we have to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, 2 to 3 year old trees. So, so that propane's empty there now, is it?
Yeah, the price. So I can go ahead and give you the answer on the trees because I've been the one researching it. If we scale it back to 2 to 3 year old trees, then it will be roughly a price of $59 to $129 per tree.
We just have to be very. We just have to be good stewards. That's all, because this is not our funds.
Yeah, I'm just submitting it to you for your decision. It's your decision. So I'm just telling you because that's the prices. I've already done that for you because we had already talked about that before we even came here. So, but I know it's easy to lose things when you're getting 300 emails a day. It gets very hectic.
No, we read all your emails. No, there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us that read all your emails. So no, we never got anything of that. We got 175 and a 250 slash. We got it all. We don't lose any emails, Trish. We don't. We've got a very good system. It won't allow. It alerts us if something's not read. We've got that. So no, I finally got that from you a couple of weeks ago. So the girls passed it on to me, and I had a look and we thought, no, we can't afford that. We just don't have we don't have the funds. So I think what what the team discusses, what are we going to do? Because we've got 3 times the amount of outgoings than what we used to have, and so we have to have an accountability somehow, and I'm not sure how we're going to do it. That's all.
Well, I think we're making some headway here. I do. I think so. Am I by myself?
No, I'm
Yeah,
still
have a
here.
cup of tea.
Well,
Well, I mean, I think we're having healthy dialogue. That's always encouraging. So let's see. Well, I'm glad to hear that you got them wood stoves going, and now, are you on the wood? I remember when I was there, there was a little shed out there that had a lot of wood cut. How much of that is being used? Are you being able to refill that? What's that look like?
I didn't have a chainsaw until Greg was here, so I've been able to do a little bit, but we went through roughly, I would say somewhere between a third, somewhere around a third of the wood that we had stacked up is used now.
Mm-hmm. So that means that basically that amount could potentially carry the property through the winter. If you've just used a third of it by now, it's closed it then. But you're going to have to, well, I'm glad, but you got a chainsaw, and so that's not going to be an issue. That's going to take, we know what you're going to be doing during the days.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're not going to town, this manly stuff.
They already say I look like a lumberjack, so I guess I'll fill the role too.
Well, you do. Yes, you do. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Anyway, sorry. That was Monty Python.
Just going back to your cutting wood and the growing and all that, is there a way that you could do a schedule? I mean, this is just out of our head. I mean, you guys will know better. But would it be best to have, because you've got 6 of you, haven't you, working there? So one of them's in the kitchen full time doing the cooking and all that and researching good recipes and things like that.
Yeah.
Just
That's
with
work.
the other lot of you, for the amount of, because you said, I just got, because I'm writing everything down, I've got to make myself clear. So, but Brother Aaron, apparently you've been doing for the last couple of weeks pallets, but how long is a pallet taking you to do?
We've been,
I know you have to redo it, forget about the redo. I'm just
well,
saying,
we haven't had the
pallet,
space
how
to
long
do
does it take
pallets.
you? Sorry, brother?
We haven't had the space to do pallets.
Oh, not even in the containers.
No, the
'Cause that's where you usually do
containers.
them.
there's wet concrete in front of them.
Well, the 2 new containers is holding the new shipment that we just got. One of them is over half full, and the other one is around half full. And then.
Okay.
And then we haven't had the space to empty the first 2 containers. And then we did have the Cuba pallet set up, but that one's put on hold. So I guess if we need to make space, we can tear that one down and use that one for one.
So even if you build a pallet in the warehouse, you can't pick it up presently. So it would seem.
No, what we're doing. Yeah, what we're doing right now is we're staging them inside, and then when we are ready to ship them, we're gonna wrap them up and put them on the trailer right then to take them out.
Okay. So can you just quickly tell me again, because I've lost my way here. Can you just tell me what roles everybody's doing? Like, can this be done, like your 30 to 50 or so orders a day? Can that not be done by 2 people a day by themselves? I'm just asking. And then one person's doing the pallets, then you've got one other person doing something else, and then you've got somebody out there chopping wood and growing, or a couple of people. I just needed to write this down because I lost my way of all my scribbles here.
We're honestly,
So,
it's basically a work.
Yeah,
Everyone.
I'm just thinking. Sorry, sis, I can't hear you.
So we're basically working on as needed. Everyone knows that we do the work as quickly as we can, as soon as it comes up, and everyone. That's why we can't give you an idea on like how long. We didn't know we needed a schedule. You had said previously that we could work out our schedule however best suits us. So that's what we've been doing, and we've just been focusing on getting done as much as we can. In the best way we can, so we don't watch the clock. But if you want a schedule, we can certainly do that.
I just think that the team has said that they don't understand how it's a 24-hour. There's 7 of you, or 6 of you there. Sorry, little baby too, 7, but the baby's not working. There's 6 of you there, and it just seems like a lot of people for the work. And just sometimes, like, you've been a manager before, and sometimes people can see things and they can say, well, and we're all like that on the team. Someone on the team will go, hey, listen, I think this, and I go, okay, and then another one will go, well, hang on, we haven't thought about that. So this is how we work. So we discuss things and try and help each other. That's what we try and do. So we always try and think about ways of doing things, or that there could be suggestions outside the box.
Yes, if someone could come up with a way for us to not need sleep, we could certainly get more done.
Yes, but can't you do...
Wait. Trish, you broke up a little. I couldn't understand everything you said. Could you mind repeating that sentence?
I said if someone could come up with a way where we don't need any sleep, we could certainly get a lot more done.
But we don't understand how can you just give us the roles of everybody? So, because you're doing 24 hours a day for half of you, and someone does one half, you do the other half, why does it require that much time?
I don't know where you got
that's going to be a question.
24 hours a day. I don't know where you got that. Everyone works as much as is needed. I know we've had as long as, I think, 19-hour day workday was one of our longest, but that was when we were having a lot of shuffling around of boxes trying to make room because we had those other shipments coming in. But we know, I don't think I've said that anyone's working 24 hours a day. I'm just saying that we work night shift because of the faster Wi-Fi and the ability to get all the packages out so that Aaron can leave by noon so that his other errands in town can be done before those places close. So that's the reason we've been doing it that way.
So, okay. Well, then can you give us what these hours you're doing at night time? Because maybe we'll get a better perspective because we don't understand. So if I can...
It depends on when we get the emails. As soon as we basically monitor the email, and when we notice the orders come in, that's when we begin. We honestly have not been watching the clock. As I've said, I'll say it one more time. We will gladly start doing a log, and everyone can log what they're doing and when, so that you can get a good idea. Because I honestly can't answer it because we haven't been watching the clock.
No, I suppose what we're trying to get in is you obviously get up, you have your breakfast, blah, 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 get going at whatever time you do. You obviously know so many hours. Are you doing 1 hour a day? Are you doing 10 hours a day? Are you doing 3 hours a day?
No, we honestly don't keep track.
Brother Aaron, what do you do? What does Brother Aaron do? I know you don't keep hours, but
we don't look at the clock. We don't look at the clock usually. I look at the sunlight and I'm like, oh, it's dawn. And then I'm like, oh, look, it's probably about, getting close to supper time, that kind of thing. Like, we really don't watch the clock.
Well, we're not asking you to watch clock, but people do tend to know how many hours they do a day or nighttime. Because you said you've got a night shift in there. So I don't know about monitoring emails and things like that. So obviously if an email comes at 2:30, you jump out of bed, do you, and rush off and do it?
No, they're already awake. They're already awake because they're used to doing the night shift. So they're already awake around midnight or so. And then when the email comes in...
Let me say this. I'm not concerned about what you've done overnight. What we want to do for all of our sake is you pull it into the daytime and figure out how to best do it. We don't need a log of everything you're doing at night or everything you're doing in the day, but I think that it'll be better for all of you if you just do it during the day altogether.
Oh yes, I am definitely on board with that.
Why can't you do it? I suppose that's our question. Why can't you do it in the day?
So
they can. We're talking about them doing it. We don't need to talk about what they can't do or why they can't. Now we know we're going to pull it back into the day, and you, Trish, and you, Aaron, manage that and figure the best way to get it done, to get those emails and those orders done. Because, it doesn't do any good. Go ahead.
I do have an important question on that. So, are we supposed to start this immediately before the Wi-Fi is handled? Because that could result in a delay of up to 4 days of scriptures going out. If we can't print labels on a Tuesday morning and Aaron has to leave.
You're right. That's the next thing. That was in my mind when I wrote down the next thing we have to make sure we understand the priority.
Because
this Wi-Fi thing taken care of, period.
Yes.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So our process up to now has resulted in everything going out at the earliest possible time. And that's what I don't want to do, is cause any delays for anyone. I know how important it is to get this word out to everyone.
Because it's not for us. Nobody's looking for any man. We're doing it for. So you might have to just keep going on the way that you'll keep going. But I think we just need to understand, because I've got to go back to the others, Brother Robert, because they're asking. I have to ask.
In my opinion, there's no reason to try to figure out what's been doing at night. She has said that they're doing everything they can do to get it, with the issues with the internet, to get everything out as quickly as they can, and it seems like that's what's been done. I think all of us agree that we'll be better off if we could pull it back during the day and everybody get the schedule for the daytime.
Absolutely.
During the daytime, but the first thing this has to be done. What did you say?
Oh,
Trish?
I'm sorry. I was saying absolutely. I absolutely agree with having my kids in bed at nighttime.
Yes. I can't stand about it being up at night.
I think, and that's a good idea. But if you're not getting your workload done, that becomes another issue which we'll have to address now. Because if you're going to say to the girls, "Sorry, but I'm only doing day shift at the moment, and all the orders haven't been done," then we've got a huge issue on our hands. And we don't want that issue, because those orders have to be number one priority above everything else.
And they have been up to now.
Well, yep, we're doing what you've asked us to do. Sorry?
And they have been. That's what we've been doing. Do you want us to keep doing what we've been doing? Or do we change to daytime?
I don't know. All I'm saying to you is that the girls know how many parcels go out a day. They know how long it takes. We need to make this clear, because I can see a confusion going to happen here, and we don't want to have to come back and talk about it again. We're all too busy. So my question here is, and I need to get this clear, is that, Trish, what part do you play? So let's just write this down, because I think what the girls have asked too, and I have to go by them, and they love you all. It's got nothing to do with anybody's picking on anybody. We just got to get it right for everybody. They feel, and I have to agree, because there's one thing personally that I'd like to talk to you about, and that's affected the girls and I, so I have to talk about that. But they feel that they would like you to be the one that contacts them, not Olivia. We don't think, the team doesn't feel it's right that you have a teenager dealing with this, because it's her emotions, her not getting the sleep that she needs, all this kind of thing is really important. And we say this in love, and it's got nothing that we don't love her, because we do, but the girls feel it is something that it needs to have an adult deal with them. That's what they would like. So I said, I'll put that forward to you. So, but our question is, if we, and we just need to know, and I think in our heads this could be different, but would it be not best that you deal with these orders with one of the girls, and then one of the girls do this job, and then Brother Aaron, he does all the pallets with one of the brothers, and then one of these or two of these go out and do the wood and do the growing.
That's what we do. I don't always put my name on the emails. Sometimes I generally actually sign it ARC team because we're all working collectively, and then I can kind of sign it from, instead of typing out everybody's name who's been in and out doing the work over the shift. So it has been me, and it has been Olivia, and it has been Clinton sometimes, but not very often.
And that's okay, but I think just we got a situation, and I'm going to talk personally from my heart. I have to speak from my heart, which has really affected me. And let me speak from my heart, please, and just give me time to explain it. Because everything else that we're talking about is not about me. It's about the project. But me personally and the girls, we want to say something. We don't want you to take offence. We don't want you to take it as an attack or anything like that, because we've been nothing but trying to do the best that we can, always trying to do what we can for you guys. We don't want thanks, we don't want praise. But one situation came up that really affected me deeply, and it brought me to tears, because I can't work like that, and neither can the girls. And I have to say this, Brother Aaron, as well. When you said that my email was abrasive, I actually didn't even write most of that email for a start. And when you said that, I knew that was done out of tiredness. I knew that was done out of Olivia working at night, but it hurt, and it's wrong. And I'll tell you something. Let me please speak, because it brings demons in. And when you bring a demon in like that, nobody wants to work with anybody, and it affects the project. We are all a team trying to work together to do the best we can, and any words like that can destroy a person very quickly, and they won't want to work with you. And it's wrong, and we don't want that, because we love you guys. If we didn't love you, you wouldn't be there. And the thing is, it really hurt, and it has affected my whole thing of looking at trying to deal with you guys. That's why the girls mostly deal with you, because I can't do it. I can't. Because I want to do this, and if we keep going like this, this is the one thing I want to do, and I want to put across to you guys, and I try to explain it. And maybe if somebody talks to Brother Aaron and says this, he can then have a perspective and say, well, hang on a minute. We are dealing with hundreds of emails a day. Not just with you guys, but everybody else. We've got to have a smile on our face. We've got to have kindness out of our hearts, even if we feel like crap. Even if we feel tired, even if we feel sick, even if we feel abused, we have to have that smile on our face. So as a team, we can't be long-winded. And like Brother Robert said, we can only love for the moment, because we have to love 100 people or 200 or 300 people a day. And so that really hurt you saying that. And I don't want to see that again, because then what happens, Trish, is that I don't want to work with that person anymore, because I don't know how to say the right words. I don't know what my typing is. But what I found on that particular occasion is that it has to be long-winded. Can we just please come to agreement? And I ask you this from my heart, is that can we have an agreement that if we can just say, hey, can this be done? Thanks, bye, love you, and run off, and not see it as a negative, not see it as hateful, not see it, because this is not the project. And so all I'm asking you is that, because it has affected the team over that. So if we could do that, I'd really, really appreciate it.
So
and if somebody says some word that might be construed wrong, it's usually what's in our hearts. So
yes,
I tried to explain to Olivia something.
So if you would could you do me a favor, Shalom? Yes, that's what I thought we had done. If you would do me a favor and go back and reread my apology email that you said you accepted before.
No. I don't. Forget about that. You and I covered that. But I'm just saying.
No, can I please finish, please? I apologize profusely because I didn't understand that phrase that I had typed into my email was considered as an insult to you. I did not, and I didn't mean it that way. And I explained it very clearly, and you accepted my apology and said that we could move on and drop it. But this is not moving on and dropping it, Shalom. Not if you're telling me that it's affected the team this whole time, and I am still talking, ma'am. Ma'am?
I said it did affect. What I'm saying to you is that what we want to do is, if we say this, It's just you don't need to have the whole details.
So if I
You
say,
just know that that's
right.
important.
Yes, I actually prefer talking that way too sometimes, because if we're in a hurry and we have a lot of emails going, I've done that myself.
I know.
But
And we know that you love us. We know that you care. I mean, we know that we all pray for each other.
why are we talking about this now, though, if
we
you
could do
accepted
that-
my apology already before?
No. If I give no, nothing to do with your apology. I'm just saying from here on
Right.
about emails. So if I say, Brother Aaron, have you done the Canadian things? I don't want to sit there for an hour going backwards and forwards, wasting time, because then I have to stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've got so much on my plate. So all I want to be able to say is, hey, has the Canadian things done? No. Great, thank you. And then I know. Or when will they be done? Or something sometimes like that. It's not because we're rude, it's because we've got, if I stop for an hour to go backwards and forwards for a reason of anything, then it means I have to have an hour at the other end, all hours in the morning, and I haven't got the energy for that. So that's all I'm asking. Nothing to do with anything else. So if something seems like it's a wrong word, don't take it like that. I'm just saying if in the future I use a particular word or I say that, don't think that we don't love you.
We didn't take anything wrong way that you said. You took wrong way what I said.
What's the word that you use? And I'm not going to go back over that. I'm just saying, but can we just say, Brother Aaron, can I just say to you, or the girls can say to you, hey, listen, is Canadian shipment done? You go, no, but it will be in a few days. That's all we have to hear. We honestly don't, but you're too busy. We would rather you spend that time on yourselves, not have to sit for an hour to explain something. We don't need to explain.
Oh, yeah, us too. We're definitely on board with that.
Well, no, because I have to go backwards and forwards till I get the answer out of you sometimes. But that's okay. Right. I suppose that's okay.
So we have decided that, Shalom, you are going to sort out the internet thing to where it's fixed, to where the speed can be up during the daytime, and at that time we'll pull the team back to work during the day, whatever that looks like.
Oh, as much as they can, as long as the orders are out, Brother Robert. That's
right,
the main.
Right.
But Brother Aaron was going to get a price for us. I mean, that's what I'm saying to you, Brother Aaron, is if you say, well, you heard that ABC is better, well, go and ask Trish, because she's the best typist here out of all of us, just type a letter to ABC Internet and say, hey, listen, what's the story, how fast you are, how much can we get, and how much is this a month? Thank you. Let that, throw it to us, and then we go from there.
About the trees?
About the internet.
Oh, the internet. Yes, yeah. We do. We did. We already. Yeah, we did that. It's the Starlink one. I think we were talking about it on Skype at one point. Yeah, we had mentioned it before, but yeah, it's. I can send you that information. I already did that research also, so I'll go ahead and forward that on to you to the email.
The price. Yeah. A price, but put in the subject line. Don't just reply to something. Do a new email, and in the subject line, new internet, system, something like that. Price.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
no problem.
So that's what we want to do. We want you to come up with.
Let me ask you guys then, Trish, with the Starlink thing. What is y'all's observation of that or assessment of it at this point? What do they offer more than what HughesNet? What do you see that's better about it? I know it's Elon Musk and it's a new thing, probably the newest technology. What are you finding about that? Is that something we could change to and make sense?
From what I've done on research about that, they seem to have the best connection. And they don't have data plans. They charge for speed. So the plan you pay for is how fast you're paying for, and there's no 100 gigabytes or whatever like that. It's based on the speed.
Could that be dangerous, Brother Aaron? No, I'm going to be honest. Can that be dangerous? If you've got speed, then everybody's going to want to watch this and stream that, and next minute with $1,000 bill.
Well, no, if the speed he said it's not on the amount, it's the speed. And so apparently, are you saying, Aaron, that it's your understanding that they would have this money would pay for this block of speed, this would be less for this less block?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Well, then we certainly do need to look into that, because I always knew that HughesNet was available everywhere, but I also knew that there were a lot of issues with the speed of HughesNet, but I didn't think anybody else would be available out there. Although, you'd say, I mean, with Starlink, that's what Elon Musk is all about, the satellite thing. So,
yeah.
What do you think, Shalom? We need to not only look into that, but
I think so, and I think what Brother Aaron did say, that it is expensive, but we just want to see how expensive it is. And I think when I say this, I don't say this to be mean. I'm just saying, because my brain thinks ahead, is that if you've got a service that you can have speed, then we will always use extra if we've got speed to download this, when I say download, streaming or whatever. I mean, people have got to see things. There's no doubt about that. That we don't take everything away, but we do need. My concern and the team's concern, and I'm sure it's the ARC's concern, is that we get the labels done. I mean, it's frustrating for them when they can't print a label. So
yes, for sure.
We've got to have a good. Yeah. So we when we say our team, we're talking about your frustrations as well. So. What I suppose we've got to do is we don't want to get into this, Brother Aaron, is you go up and join up with this group and they say, yep, you can have high speed, and then next minute we've got a $1,000 bill. I mean, we would just be spewing because we wouldn't even know where to get the money for that bill.
No, it's one price per speed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So we don't want to go, yeah, and then next minute, oh my gosh, what are we going to do about this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't charge for the amount of data, they charge for the speed. So whatever
speed is $120 a month.
Whatever plan you choose, like I think the starting plan is $120 a month. That's all you pay. And whatever it's a truly unlimited plan is what it is.
Yeah, that you won't pay any more than that. That it has one price. And but you do have to buy the equipment. That's the kicker, is you have to buy the equipment up front. And that's between $600 and $700.
Well, can we agree to pray? For together that the Father will provide for this? Because He can. He's done that before. Other people have emailed and said, "Hey, listen, there's a need here. I've sent you this." So maybe let's pray about that.
Absolutely.
We definitely need the internet. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, if this is going to be faster and better for you guys, that you can be able to watch some stuff, because I understand people want to watch stuff, but not if it's going to make it slow in the Father's word.
Yeah.
For sure.
We need to get that word out. Yeah.
We need to pray that the house sells so that we don't have to worry about actually getting what needs to get gotten before the getting is gone.
Well, this is it. Well, what makes me mad is this the enemy's hands. I mean, you've got to understand that the enemy is rife, not just with us as a team, but he's rife and angry, because we're close to the end. I mean, our whole vision for this is why we got you guys, is that we want you to be able to take this to the end until you're dead, because what concerns us to. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
That's the ultimate goal. And so our concern is our concern is that what's our concern? So hot here. Is that I don't even know what I was saying, Brother Aaron.
We understand each other. Starlink.
Oh yeah. But like Brother Aaron said, but Sister Trish said, we've got to get going before the get-go going. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So here comes a buyer, right, 6 weeks ago. Brilliant. Didn't want any changes. There was there was a couple of things that needed to be done. So we said, okay, take 25,000 off. So it would cover it, because we knew that the septic tank was going to cost, this. And then there's the air conditioning was 10 grand and all that. So we thought we got off lightly, because they actually offered way more than what we wanted. So they said, yeah. And I said the real estate agent. So the mortgage guy said yes, and they said yes. He said yes. It's all go. So okay, but then what happened is it was all go. They signed it, and then they said then the bank said, oh no, we need the septic tank check, and I was like, oh no, brother Greg and Drew and all that. What are we going to do? So anyway, we got the test for that, which cost us money, and so everything was all perfect. And then the mortgage guy says, oh, no, I've done a real good check on these people and they've got a bankruptcy in their past. I said, you're joking. I said, yeah, he's just absolutely gutted our real estate agent because they put a lot of work into selling this property. And he said, now we better pray because the market in 6 weeks is coming down fast. So the enemy held it off for 6 weeks. And 6 weeks ago, we could have got very good money for it, but I don't even know if we'll even get that much.
Well,
and part of that money's got to go back to the supporter that donated it for that property, because it was donated for, and he's going to put that back into to cover the cost of the one that Aaron and Trish is at. So yeah, so we better pray that it sells, because nothing's going to happen unless that sells, and it gutters us because we had that buyer, we had a very good buyer, a very good price, we were happy, and then the enemy just went, the bankrupt, they were bankrupt.
Let me ask you this before we pray. Who is tasked then at getting to the bottom of Skynet, what is it, what's it called?
Skynet.
Skynet, okay.
Or Starlink.
Starlink.
Starlink,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, yeah, Starlink.
I think that's a movie,
but I thought
Skynet.
Yeah, it is. It's a movie.
So who's going to be the one responsible for getting that squared away?
We're praying first, Brother Robert, remember? We're praying first, get the money. But are you talking, sorry, it's such a bad line for all of us. Are you talking about who's going to investigate it? Or I think she's already done that.
Well, so I'd like to see what
I can email it
and what that looks like.
Yep.
Sweetie?
We can email it to you. But
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. It went quiet for a second, sorry.
She said she's going to email it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you all make sure that I get a copy of it? Because I'd like to look it over too, so we know exactly what we're praying for. So we're not married to HughesNet, and obviously they're not married to us. And
especially in Rachel's name.
Right.
With it being in Rachel's name, it makes it hard to get in there to talk to somebody.
We're paying the bill for this with our credit card. So I don't know what the hell happened there. I have no idea. But the other reason, sisters, I need to know is we've got to pray. As soon as the money comes in, I'll let you know, because I've got to ring this lady up there and tell them to cut the services. So we can't cut them for very long. So we have to be having dot T's, dot cross T's, and dot I's, that we can jump in and get this. So what my question to you is that for the $600 materials, do we go and buy that ourselves, or does we give that to the company and they get out there fast? What do we do?
The company, from what I understand, they don't even come out. They mail the equipment, and then you set it up. The dish will aim itself, so a technician doesn't have to be there, and it does all the signal, it optimizes its aim and whatever, all of the technical mumbo jumbo, and basically the equipment does the work itself. And if I'm not mistaken,
I'm already impressed.
if one satellite goes down, then it can find another one.
Right, so my question to you is this, is that, that's why the Earth must be round if there's satellites up there, they said. I don't know, but so I heard a comment about that once. But anyway, so what I'm saying to you is when we get the $600, right, I say to you, Brother Aaron, we've got $600. You then, we put it on that card, because that card's going to be topped up. Remember that petty cash card?
Yeah.
It's got to have receipts. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has to. We can't not have that, because I don't want this whole trouble again with the bookkeeper stressing her out. So my question is once I get the $600, we put it onto their card, you go and buy it, is that right? And then that's That's it. So can you tell me, we then say to HalleluYAH, buy? What do we do? Do we wait till this is set up and it will override their one?
We'll have to wait till it's set up. Yes, we'd have to.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is, when do we? So here's my question: with HughesNet, we still keep that going, but when Aaron sets this other one up, will it override that? Then we ring them up and say goodbye, or what do we do?
Basically, we just turn off the other one. They'll send completely new stuff, and it won't even be connected the same way.
Yeah, it'll be a separate system. Anything that's HughesNet, they'll come get once we say we don't need it. But we want to be sure that we know exactly what we're talking about. You know, you say 600, maybe 700, and then what is it, a month or whatever. And
She's already told us that.
well, I want to see it in writing. I'm sure you're telling the truth, but I want to see exactly what we get for the 600
absolutely.
or 700, what the different packages are, because then we won't be saying he said, she said. Right now, I've heard 600, but I've heard $600 to $700, and so it sounds to me like it would be exactly what we would want, or anybody in a rural area, or even in town would want.
Right.
So
less headache.
What we're talking about overall would be have to keep doing what you're doing presently in printing the labels and all overnight, because that's when, and right now it's going to be the 20th of the 20 more days or the 20th of the month before the HughesNet megabyte thing kicks back in and resets. And so until then you'll have faster speeds at night, right? And it'll be like a snail in the daytime. So you may have to make everybody start working at night.
Well, that's why we've been doing that. We really have been trying to do our very best work here.
We haven't, Trish, we've never said you haven't. We've never said you haven't.
I'm confident you are, and we're thankful for that. And we're going to. I hate that it's taken this long to figure all this stuff out, but hey.
Yeah.
Once we get it, we'll be able to tell everybody else, won't we?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, okay, now listen, I'm certainly going to have to. I can't do much more. We've been here about 2 hours, but we do want to talk about the food. And Trish, with all you're doing, I know you manage restaurants, and I talked to Aaron about this the other day. What about how? I mean, you're not against doing a menu, say for a month or 2 months or 3 months, and figuring out what the costs would be to make meals. I know you had mentioned a freezer and a refrigerator.
Yeah, I actually I have already done that. That's what I do. That's how I keep the family with all of the things that they need. But we basically, what I was talking about with the bulk orders, because we had previously discussed that would be most prudent because it's cheapest. You have to buy in large quantities. And so I was tasked with going and pricing those things. And I have been doing that. And of course, you know, Brother Robert, the food prices in the United States have been quite interesting along with the supply. But it's made it a little bit of a challenge. But when we were looking for the best option for grain, because I have a grain mill. I prefer to grind my own wheat and make things fresh. It's cheaper, it's healthier, keeps the kids full longer. And Brother Nathan, Shalom told us to talk to Brother Nathan, so Aaron did that. He pointed me in the Azure standard, Azure as in like blue. They're owned by some believers, some Torah keepers in Oregon, and they're an organic food co-op. And they have the best prices that I've been able to find. So like previously you guys ordered from nuts.com, or maybe it was Jamie and Rachel ordered the flour from there.
Yeah, no, that's money. That's food that we brought ourselves. That's nothing to do with the cost things, but that's something that was a gift. So
yeah, no, I was just going to I'm just, if I could finish this is what I'm trying to compare the price on Azure Standard. We can get grain for between $80 and $119 So 89, like 80 cents ish to $1.19 a pound ish for whole grain wheat, where the nuts.com price is $3.99 a pound currently.
We don't go to nuts. We don't use them. We use Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon also is really high compared to this. So, but the kicker is, though, we have to buy it in the large amounts, and they also have, because I was looking at like barrel prices for buckets, prices for barrels, and then they also have a tote price, which they said you have to call to get, but that it's even cheaper. So we could potentially get the wheat for 50 cents a pound. We would just have to buy large amounts of it. So I do have that ready, and I have,
Can I ask a quick question? Because I don't do any pricing on food. The girls do, because they, for the last 10 years, they do all the pricing for all the orphans and widows and worldwide. So they know every cost when it comes to food. Can you just tell me a 25 kg bag of rice, what that would be? What's the cost of that?
I don't know, because we don't usually get rice.
Okay, because you need to be able to get some standard food. They've written here these, and I think this is what we probably might have to look at, because it's the bulk food that we've got to get to be able to feed people to keep them going for a long time. So
yeah, there's about a pallet of rice here already. So, but I don't buy rice normally anyways, so I honestly don't know how much that is, but I can give you the price for wheat and flour.
Yeah. So but you can't just live on that. You have to live on bulk. Like they've got rice. Rice has got every mineral and vitamin that is needed. But rice, eggs, chickpeas, beans, wheat, which is the one you talk about, oil, pumpkins, potatoes, sweet peas, tomatoes, spinach, spices, and salt. So they've got all this written up, and what it costs each week, everything. They've got a costing for this for 4 weeks, which is quite
way
less than what we're being paid now. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just saying this is the costings that they got, and these are the substantial foods that could feed a family.
Yeah,
and this is the type of thing we want to get into.
Yeah, absolutely. All of those items are excellent to store. I definitely think that's what we need to do, and that's why I do have that mock-up order that you guys were asking for in email. I have it on the computer, but we're trying to figure out the easiest way to share it, because they have kind of a little widget thing on their website that pops out. So it's, anyways, Aaron
I went to their website. I couldn't even work that website, Brother Robert. I looked at. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying I tried so hard to figure out their cost. I finally found some rice, but it was way cheaper if I went to the supplier that actually supplies them. I noticed that most of the stuff they got there, they get from a supplier that you can actually go to the supplier and get it cheaper. Because I worked that all out very quickly, and I don't think you go. Sorry.
Yeah, I've been looking for some of our suppliers here.
If you could, if you see that on your screen, you just like print screen and take that over into your Paint program and do it, or any Word document, you can make it into a PDF.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do if I don't have a way to. And just get it on the screen you like it, print it, and make it into a PDF.
Yeah, that's 3 months. Okay, yeah, Aaron has it now. He can, now I will say, you'll notice this is the if we buy in large amounts, so that it would be 3 months worth of food rather than 1 month. But some of it is actually fluctuating in price, because it's like, onions and potatoes and squash, things like that, or cabbage, whatever. It's varied by weight. So you'll notice it's over by a couple of dollars, but when I first made it, it was under by $5. So food prices keep rising. But Aaron will, Aaron's going to do that and send it an email to both of you, and then maybe a link to the Azure standard for Brother Robert, so he can look at it too.
I think I might be able to copy that
but
order
always
ID.
Send it to the main email, and I can always send it out. It's best to get into that habit now. So just send it to the main email, and the girls will forward to Brother Robert. Don't worry.
Brother Robert, did you want it to pray over it as well with us on this?
Oh, absolutely. I intend to. I wanted to find all that information out first.
Sure would appreciate it.
If there's any such thing as intelligent prayer,
We're trying.
I want to do that. Well, okay. Listen.
So what we have covered. No, we've got quite a few other things. You want to go and have a rest and come back and get your coffee.
Well,
I need to. We need to.
I'm about had it.
We need to get we need to get inside also. Aaron's baby's gonna be getting tired for bed, and we haven't even had our dinner yet.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's pray and listen. Can we Mark, maybe Shalom, or maybe Trish, maybe we could do an overview of what we talked about and what we understand is going to happen, and then share with each other, and so then maybe meet again tomorrow night, or wait a minute, tomorrow. Let's see. Whenever, to discuss some other things. And
yeah, I think we need to discuss some other things on your list I think you've got here, Brother Robert. But I think the main thing is, what we want to say is that we can't sustain these costs. So we have to figure a way.
I agree.
No, we do. We all have. If we all discuss something all together, then come up with ideas, that's the best thing.
Yeah, it is so much cheaper to buy in bulk than Walmart. Prices are terrible, and we hate it. And it's not even good stuff. They don't even carry good things.
But with your money that you were getting, I'm not sure why you didn't go off and buy bulk stuff from 2 months ago. But it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that
to get 3 months at a time. So we had such a large purchase. So we have to approve it. That's why we were waiting to have this discussion to approve it.
But we only can cover so much. That's all we can do. And at the moment, we have to get that power bill down to basically half. We have to get all the stuff down, because we honestly, I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm telling you, we can't afford it. We can't. So we have to come up with a solution, and how.
Absolutely.
Instead of discussing it, just all of us have to come to our heads and say, okay, how are we going to get this in half? Because we have to get this in half somehow. And maybe,
Wait, the food budget has to be cut in half?
Everything has to be cut.
What do you mean?
Here's an example. I'm just saying to you, to run this project, just the fulfillment center, forget about the packagings and all that, but just the needs in that, you guys are heading to just about triple the amount of money that it's costing. So what I'm saying to you, we have to cut this back somehow, because we can't sustain it. So that's what I'm trying to say, is think of ways of doing this. Now, I just want to say one question of two of the brothers says, and they're concerned too. We are all concerned. I'm just saying, if tomorrow you get nothing, not 1 cent, how are you going to survive? So that's how we're
on beans and rice and foraging.
I know. You know what I mean? The money's not going to be there. I have to say this because I'm telling you now how the world's going. We're praying for another year at least, because we've got to get these pallets out. That's why we've got to move on these pallets. I thought they were getting done each day. I just need the measurements and the weight so I can put it into the system of the shippers.
Yeah, we gave you those.
The two brothers said this. This is the only thing they said is this. Besides, they didn't like you working along too. They said this. If nothing happens to them tomorrow, if they've got no food, no money, no nothing, what are they going to do? So that's how we've got to think. So, if you're going to talk about the plastic house, if you want to talk about the plastic house, how fast is that food going to be happening? Because when we're gone and there's no money, you can't ring us and say, well, you can't ring us because there'll be no connections. You'll be on your own. So we have to think. And we have to cut this debt down. We can't sustain it.
I will say
what the answer is going to be.
Yeah, we would rather do things in the cheapest possible way for everything.
So, if I could.
We're just so worried. We're worried sick, to be honest with you. I'm just telling you, in our hearts, we're worried.
If I could just.
I'll tell y'all, I ain't worried about nothing, with all due respect. Go ahead, Aaron.
But you come up with the money then, and we won't have to have a worry, then, Brother Robert.
Well, hey, listen, remember what the word says. Worry doesn't add one cubit to your stature. I'm confessing I am not going to worry. We're going to pray and watch the Father do it. We must not confess anything else. That's my experience. That oh no, this is going to happen. Oh no, I'll tell you what.
No. I'm just saying that we can't use those funds out of the donations. You're not allowed to.
We
made
all
of felt.
recognize.
So,
We all recognize that.
Brother
We
Robert,
do,
Brother Aaron's talking. Brother Robert, Brother Aaron was talking.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Sorry. So if I could just touch on the greenhouse for 1 second. I know we're all wearing down to the end of our batteries, but there is a way that I have looked into in the past. I personally think it would be better long term. Basically, what you do is you take a... Brother Robert might know what this term is and might be better to explain it. It's called cattle paneling. It's like welded wire fencing. It's like the hard fencing that is in squares.
Like McNeil fence, we used to call it, just a regular fence around the house, you mean? Or a little wire fence in a row?
No, it comes in flat pieces. They're about 16 feet long. In other words, it's, I want to say, like 1/4 inch thick wire welded together in squares.
Really?
What's this going to do?
And
What does this do, brother?
so to make a greenhouse, we can bow the fencing over in a arch and cover that in plastic. It would be substantially cheaper to do it that way. And the fencing is strong and it holds together really well.
And it's only about $32 a panel.
Yes, it's about $32 a panel, and I think what
And how many panels do you need?
It just depends on however long you want to make your greenhouse, I guess.
yeah, like we could do
Well, roughly, how many do you need?
we could do
We have to have
3
cost.
or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4 would make a decent size one.
That would be probably roughly the same size as the one we were looking at before.
Basically, the way we always
Huge one.
here's the way we always look at things, and we still look at them this way, and probably are not going to change. We will make do with whatever Yah provides in the best stewardship that we can, and when we're given this is what we have to work with, then that's what we'll work with. If all we have to work with is what's in the woods, well, hallelujah for the woods. If we have a budget for something, then we'll make the best thing we can with the budget. So whatever the budget there is to work with, that's what we'll work with.
I did say to you guys, Brother Aaron and Greg, I said to both of you, when those diggers were there, you should have dug up that big, huge patch over there so that you could put potatoes in there and pumpkins in there.
They didn't have
That was an ideal thing. Huh?
Um,
That was an ideal thing. Would have helped you, so you didn't have to be backbreaking, digging stuff. So if you turn that whole thing into pumpkins, potatoes, sweet potatoes.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to plant the garden. I'm a gardener at heart. My grandma raised me up in her garden. I can't wait.
I know, but why didn't you use the digger when it was there and do that big, huge, like 1/4 of an acre of land?
That was up to Greg and the other brother that was here to drive the tractor.
Well, you could have just asked; they would have done it.
You have to be licensed.
They were talking about it.
You have to be trained on how to do it, and that's part of the leasing of it or something. So there was only the 2 of them that were supposed to drive it anyways. It was a big excavator.
I know that, but they could have just taken the top of the grass off at least, and then you wouldn't be backbreaking to put the potatoes in the.
Oh, it's all right.
I'm going to enjoy seeing the back-breaking pictures. They'll be sweating with a grin on their face.
Yeah.
Excuse me, slave driver.
No, they didn't really have time, I don't think.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to get something in there fast. Somebody to clear that up to get your potatoes, your pumpkins, and all that. Give us a price on how you're going to build this thing and how fast it can get up there and how fast you can get the seeds into the ground for you guys.
There's things I can start planting now. I can start planting onions and garlic and cold weather crops especially if I have a greenhouse cover. All of the cruciferous vegetables, kales, cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower, things like that can go in now. Brussels sprouts, asparagus.
Yeah, but you want a UV. Hubby said that you need a UV, very strong UV plastic. Do not buy crap, because if you buy crap, it will just disintegrate very quickly.
You give us,
money.
you know what? You give us a budget, and we will get the very best possible thing we can find with that budget. Hallelujah.
$5 is your budget. Out to the dump. Let's all go to the dump. Okay, we just want the cheapest possible, but it's going to be long term. It's just
yes.
Okay,
sure.
so the cheapest possible factor is really about things that are sold locally, like someone saying, "Oh, I'm moving and I don't need this. You can buy it for $20." But you have to have it. You have to get it right then, and you have to just act before it's sold. So we can definitely work on some of those things as long as we don't miss out. Hallelujah, we didn't miss out on this trailer. We first sent that picture a month ago. And I was so glad that Brother Greg told Aaron to go look at it because it is absolutely perfect. It is solid. We can actually load it up with pallets. Like we can get these pallets. I can't wait for the concrete pad to dry. It's going to be awesome. Ethan is so proud.
Make sure you don't. Yeah, I bet he's proud. We love his pictures too. He's a photographer. He needs an award-winning badge on his chest. I tell you what, after I've been pulling my hair out, and I want to say this quickly, please. I want to say this, and I know that you're now getting this. It's so important. Pictures is the number one thing for this project. Otherwise, people think you're a liar. They'll think you're a liar, and it's good stewardship. So when somebody donates, like if someone donates for this what you call it, Elon Musk thing, we're going to have lots of pictures because we then send those the pictures and say, see, we've brought this.
Yes.
Otherwise there's no good stewardship. And I tell you what, it really pulls our guts out because people will say bad things. You never give a free one to anybody. But if you have pictures, you shut them out. You don't
absolutely.
Have to answer.
I'm really looking forward to seeing yours and Max's pictures from this mission trip y'all are on now. That is because we've seen the sisters and their work with. Oh, it's so exciting.
I don't have personal pictures. I've made a vow, so I can't do that. So I made a vow to not do that many years ago. That's between the Father and I. But our mission sisters, our mission things, yep, they're family. The ones that we go and visit because they're families like you guys have got in the States. We go and drop stuff off. They don't want pictures taken, personal pictures like that. But you know what we look like at the team meeting anyway.
Yeah. No, I was just meaning pictures of your mission work that you guys are on. I know that's got to be exciting.
No, we went and drop off. No, every 2 years we go around and we encourage people and drop off stuff to them, free stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Take free coffee. That's all we do. Knock on the door. Hi. We don't even tell them we're coming. We've got no time for that. It's because we work like, oh, okay, we can go right now. We actually don't even want to go, but we go, knock on the door. Hi, Holy Scripture's here. Here's some free stuff. How you going? Want to encourage you. The Father loves you. Blah 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 blah. Next person.
Oh, gotcha. It's a package drop. Okay.
Yeah, it's a package. No, we don't sit there and talk and have wonderful things like you guys do. And I hope that if you meet up with Brother Aaron, I've got a bone to pick with you. You know that bone I was going to pick with you about the Sukkoff cards? Oh, those cards, you could have given them out. You would have had.
Oh, yes. I seriously do not know how they got off the trailer because I seen them on the trailer that was going to Sukkot. And then
I asked you 7 times, and I thought if I ask any more, he's going to think I'm pushy. I'll shut my mouth and won't do it. I should have kept pushing because then I would have got them.
Yeah, no, I don't know who. I don't know who put them back in the building, but they were on the trailer, and then when we got out there, they weren't. So someone must have got confused, I guess, and thought that it wasn't supposed to go or something. I don't know.
So when you go next time for the big meetup, you're going to take them with you, aren't you?
I'm going to put them in my truck. They aren't going on the trailer. They're going in my truck.
That's the best thing. Oh, hey, can I ask one thing too?
Yes.
Quickly. Now, there's a reason I'm saying this. No other reason but I'm saying, can you pull out that trailer and give it a good clean on that one side? There's a reason. You must do this. You must keep that clean for your children and your wife. I had so many cases in the past, including myself, when you have dirt all over like that and green, it goes into that works and it slowly goes through and it can make you so seriously ill. So please, pull it out and give it a good scrub up. You know that greenery? Yeah, this is your mother talking now.
Trailer.
Older than you.
the trailer house that they.
Try and keep that hosed down and cleaned, because eventually, Brother Robert, it happened to me. I nearly died. Same thing happened to me, and it's happened to a lot of clients that I've had over the years. And when I've gone to inspect something, it's this. It gets it. It doesn't look like it's getting into the, and it damages. It does damages the metal thing, but it eventually gets through into the caravan, or you call it trailer, and it can make you very sick. And it's not good for it either, because it ages it very quickly and can damage. So just give it a good clean up on that side, so it's for your family. Or put somebody onto that job.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd do the job if I was there. It wouldn't worry me. Okay, and the fridge or freezer, you're getting a price for that, Trish? Second-hand one?
A second-hand one? I found one for $100, but
it's probably gone by now.
It's probably gone by now. I haven't been able to load the marketplace to be able to look. It hasn't been loading for me in the past couple of days, but yeah, I have found a few. Again, they're all over the place as far as prices. To get a new one from Walmart would be $1,237, I believe. And then
we're here saving money.
And then there was I'm giving you the price range for all of it. So there was a really good fridge that I think is very possibly going to still be available. And it was $100. But it was a good one. It didn't have any problems.
Freezer. Right, you said freezer. That's what Brother Aaron said. So you wanted an extra freezer.
Yeah, we need an extra freezer and an extra fridge.
Oh, can we ask quickly what this is for?
For the food storage, so that we don't have to go to town as much. Because the one fridge is not enough to buy enough of all of the things that need to stay cold for everyone for more than 4 days or so.
But there's a big one there already, a fridge and freezer, isn't there? So you want another big one like that?
No, there's a standard refrigerator with a freezer on it. There's not an actual separate freezer on the property anywhere.
There's a fridge and freezer all in one, though. You got
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a standard size, yes, for one family, not for two.
Well, I'll tell you what, you wouldn't want to see ours. It's not even the size of your computer. It's the size of ours. But yeah, we don't have power. So
oh, yeah. No, I'm fine with that. But I'm saying if we're going to buy food in bulk and be storing it so that it doesn't go bad, so that we can save money from Walmart prices, we're going to need a place to store it. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
I thought you get a chest freezer. I thought you get a chest freezer. And
yeah, we could do that. We could do that as well.
Freeze it all up.
Well, we would need both, is what I'm saying, because if we're gonna buy all of the things that will need to be kept cool.
Yeah, we'll be buying all of our fresh produce from them too if we use them.
And the milk for the baby.
Yeah.
And so eggs until we can get our own chickens. We've gotta get some. I haven't been able to find anybody with chickens because the U.S. government made everybody kill them. So.
Yeah, but you just can't say nothing to anybody. I'll tell you a quick story. Got very good supporters and they're very good friends of ours. They got an off-grid property in the UK. I said to her, don't tell anybody, not even your friend. You tell nobody about where that is. So she went and told her best friend, and guess what? Her friend went and told everybody. Had to dump the place. So you've got to be very careful. You might think that everybody's loving you and all that. You've got to be very careful with that place, because you know what the enemy's final thing is. So just be very careful.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
don't tell people you've got chickens. So when you get the chickens, you don't tell anybody you've got chickens.
Well, that's a good thing I don't ever talk to anybody. I don't go anywhere.
But I love chickens, but tell nobody nothing. Nobody. If you got chickens, try and find some chickens, but tell nobody.
I'm trying, but we haven't been able to find any yet. So just pray that we can. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting really tired, and I really need to go in and have dinner.
You guys got to go eat.
Yeah.
Let's pray. When we end this, Father, the last thing I heard that we need is chickens. And you know where them chickens are. You know which ones you want at the ark. You're the one that put the chickens on the ark to begin with. So we can certainly trust you to have some more come in. to the ark, and then Starlink, and also the refrigerator and the freezer and the food, and all of these things that we've been talking about. That we need your hand. We need your. We need to see your provision and you to show us what direction to walk. And may we trust you and know that your provisions are ours because we are your citizens of your kingdom. And in your kingdom, in any kingdom, it's the responsibility of the king to protect its citizenry and provide for its citizenry. And it's our responsibility as your citizens, sir, to promote your will and your way and your edicts and help us to do that, whether no one else in the world does it, and do it with honor and belief and joy, above anything, joy and shalom, wholeness, as Brother Jeff Benner says. The shalom means to give us everything we need to be whole and complete. We recognize that. We walk in that. Thank you for the family. Thank you for the opportunity to be your children and walk in your way as a family. Hallelujah. We love you. And Aaron, we love you. Trish, we love you.
I love y'all too.
The girls said to send their love to you guys, and they pray and fast for you guys. They fast half a day every day, so get Shabbat, and they fast for you guys every day.
You can tell the sisters that Trish has fasted for 2 hours and 23 minutes and 44 seconds tonight.
Actually, it's more like 26.
Oh, no. You go eat, and listen, y'all keep a grin on your face and know that y'all loves you, and we love you, and very thankful for your work in walk in his way. Shalom, I love you, and I'm going to hang up right now, and I'm going to go get me a bite. My buddy brought me some livers in here while I was almost made my headache go away, but all right, I love you all.
Love you too.
See you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Love you all.
See you later. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.